What is going on, guys? Today is pretty good mail day. I got a package from a company called KastKing. They reached out, said they were going to send a reel and a rod. We'll do quick unboxing of those, set them up, line the reel, and then head out and try to catch some mangrove snappers with them. But yeah, check out, got the reel here. So it's their 5000 Capstan Elite. Pretty heavy duty. It's actually feels like it weighs a lot. It's 5.7 gear ratio. It's 22 ounces, 40 pounds of drag. Pretty smooth. Yeah, feels smooth. That is a really heavy duty reel. All right, let's go get the rod. All right, interested to see. Seems like a really light rod for that heavy reel, but that's the combo they sent. So let's see, that's a very, very light rod. Oh, it's got a good amount of backbone to it. Let's throw the reel on. So if you're ever wondering if a rod is balanced, right above the spool of the reel, if you put your finger there, and if it tips this way, the reel you have on is too heavy. If it tips that way, it's not heavy enough. The wind is blowing me a little bit there, but as you can see, that's actually balanced. Yeah, that's not bad at all. All right, we're gonna spool this up. And then it's a bit windy today, so we'll see. Maybe we'll go out tomorrow, but we're gonna head out and try to pick up some mangrove snappers from around the neighborhood. Actually, before I spool this up, I don't think I even told you about the rod. So this is the Speed Demon Crankbait 7.3. The action is moderate, power medium, line weight 8 to 17 pound. We're gonna put heavier on that. And 4-ounce lures. That seems like a lot, but okay. All right, set it up. All right, that's a needlefish. I'm actually thinking, let's get a barracuda. Something that might pull a little bit of drag on this and give us a better idea. Of course, when you're looking for a barracuda, you can't find one. Oh, no, those are mullet. So I can say that the rod has really nice action and actually casts pretty far. The reel feels heavy duty in that it's a little bit too heavy for this rod. I don't know that I would pair them together. Like if I was going to be casting all day, this is a little bit heavy. I might use the reel for trolling or something like that, or bottom dropping. But the rod, as you see, casts really nice. All right, the hunt for a barracuda continues. All right, so we're just going to work our way up the keys. Stop at spots that look fishy, throw a couple of casts, and if we don't get anything, move to the next spot. I just need them to swallow the hook. There's 2 barracudas messing with it. Come on. Oh, he got it off. They're sitting there eating it. I ended up catching a little pinfish. All right, we'll try again. I have never had this much difficulty catching a barracuda. Usually you're trying to catch everything else and you catch a barracuda, and now you set out to catch one and all of a sudden they're picky eaters. Seems ridiculous to me. Well, not what we wanted, but we can use them as bait. We got a needlefish. Yeah, he's getting Getting chunked into bait. Sorry, buddy. Oh, his lucky day. There we go. And he looks like the right size. He came charging. All right, let's see if we can get him up. Oh yeah. Yep. We got him. There you go. And he unhooked himself. Perfect. There you go. Now that shoe right there is 12 inches. They got to be 15. Watch your toes. All right, we're gonna put this guy out of his misery and throw him in the cooler. See if we can get another one, but we got that one. He's more than enough to do what I want to do. I didn't hit record until he was hooked up because I've had so many non-connections that I'm running out of battery here on my camera. But if anything, I'll see you guys back in the kitchen. I will say, for the rod and reel review, you know, that was nothing huge, but plenty of drag to go on this. Plenty of drag. Jeez, I have that set way too tight. And then nice backbone on the rod. But like I said earlier, I don't know that I would pair these two together necessarily. But we got a fish. And just to show we're on the up and up. Guy is 18, and even if you measure from the fork, 16. So he's legal. Going into the cooler, and we're gonna try for one more. Oh, there we go. There we go, there we go. Small, whatever it is. Oh, maybe not actually. Might be the right size. Yeah, I think we got number 2 here. All right. Yeah. There we go. All right. Let's see, from there, 12. Oh yeah, we got another keeper. All right. We're gonna dispatch this guy, and then we are going to head to the kitchen. There you go. Pretty excited about that. Fishing for barracuda with treble hooks. Probably not the smartest thing in the world, but who said we were smart? There you go. We are at about little under 16 on this one. Just under 16. So we're gonna dispatch that guy, throw him in the cooler. We are good to go. Actually started filleting here, but just to show you how beautiful those fillets are. Hang on, let me skin this one. But once you get past that initial smell that they have, and you get them all cleaned up, I mean, that's a beautiful fillet right there. But I gutted them and got them on ice immediately. That's something I do think is key. So like any fish, just follow the rib bones down to the spine. Come up to the spine. There are the ribs. Now down on the other end of the spine, through the tail. There you go. There's your fillet. And then we're gonna clean this up and debone them. I don't think I'm gonna go through and pick the bones. I'm just gonna cut them out. Make my life a little bit easier. But yeah, look at that fillet. You can't tell me that doesn't look good. And it tastes amazing. It's a white, flaky meat. Cooks up really, really nice. But yeah, we're gonna take these pin bones out, and then we're gonna make Barracuda dumplings. So for our dumpling wrappers, I have here about 2 cups of all-purpose flour. And I'm gonna put about about a tablespoon of salt. And then this is very important. So this is warm water. It's not cold water. It's a little bit above room temperature, so it's a bit warm. And what that helps do is start to break up the gluten in the flour. So what the warm water does is start to break up the gluten. I think in Chinese there's a word for it where it says it actually cooks the flour. So the idea is that it starts breaking it down and it gives you a really nice soft dough. So we're gonna add a little bit at a time and slowly start incorporating it until we have it all in. And by the way, that was about a half cup of water. We may have to add a little more, we'll see. And then once we get this all incorporated, we're gonna cover it, throw it in the fridge, and it is going to sit for at least an hour. And then we'll take it out and knead it again. And a lot of times, instead of adding more water, all I'll do is wet my hands while I'm working with the dough, and that'll add just the right amount of moisture that I need. So I'm gonna wet my hands, and that's it. And that'll give it just the right amount of moisture. All right, we're gonna throw this back in the bowl, cover it, and let it sit for at least an hour in the fridge, and then we'll take it out and knead it again. Our dough has rested, so now we're gonna take it out and knead it for about a little over 5 minutes here. We'll keep kneading until it becomes nice and smooth. As you can kind of see, it's already happening there. And then we will rest it again, and then we'll roll out our dumpling wrappers. All right, I let my Barracuda rest for a little bit to completely cool down and firm up a little, because I'm gonna chop it all by hand, but we're gonna mince it as small as possible. So I'll show you real quick what I mean by that on this one. Try to pick out some of those scales. I gave them a rinse in the canal, but some of those scales made it through. Yeah, cut them into strips like this. Off to the side like that, and just like this. I don't want complete mush because I would like it to have some body inside the dumpling. So I'm not going to put it through a blender or anything like that, but that's about it. So that when you do that with your knife, I'll show you. You can pick it up and it kind of sticks together like that. That's what I'm looking for. Very simple. So I'm going to do that to the other 3 fillets. So something that I want to reiterate as well on these Barracuda fillets is that there's no smell on this whatsoever. That smell that's on Barracuda when you pull them out right now, they have zero smell, not even a fishy smell. And I mean, as you see, like no bloodline. It really is an underrated fish. And then the other fear that a lot of people have is what's called ciguatera poisoning, which is from an algae here in the water. And the way that it gets built up in fish is that the smaller fish eat it off the coral, and then the larger predatory fish eat the smaller fish, and it builds up and up and up. Now, am I worried about ciguatera? One, where I caught these barracuda, and two, the size of these barracuda? The answer is no. I'm not worried about it. I'd actually be more concerned eating a hogfish off the reef because they're eating it even more. But yeah, I have little to no concern about ciguatera with these guys. Now that I have my fish all minced, I'm gonna add some scallion, and this we're gonna also finely chop so the whites and everything there. Okay, so just like that, and then some of the greens as well. We're gonna slice those up and get them nice and thin and throw them in like that as well. Now some sliced cilantro. All right, now we'll grate in some garlic. We'll do 2 cloves and some ginger. And that, a little bit of ginger goes a very, very long way. So we won't go too crazy with that. A little bit of fish sauce. That'll be where our salt comes from. And a little squeeze of mayo as a binding agent. Stir this up, and that's our filling. And then we're gonna put this aside, let it cool down completely, kind of solidify up there, and then we will roll out our dumpling wrappers. Okay, our dough has rested. And I've said this before on the channel, I'll say it again. So you also want some give, that if you push into it, pushes back a little bit, and you want it to feel kind of like a soft earlobe. So this is looking really good. So we are going to divide this into a couple of pieces so that we can work with it and wrap the pieces that we're not working with so that they don't dry out. So we'll cut it into 4 equal parts. Work with one at a time. Now, if you wanted to be really exact with each one, you could weigh them out, but I don't think we need to be that exact. We want to try to get them into a circle. See how successful I am in that. I think that's about as close as we're gonna get. Now, you could roll out a few and put them between wax paper so that they don't dry out. And then when you're ready to stuff them and pinch them, at least they're not dried out. So I'm gonna roll out these, put them in between here, and then we will stuff them and shape them. There you go. Little closer to circular. Okay, I have here just a little bit of water so that we can seal them up. I'm going to take just a dab of water, put it on the edge there. And we pinch, 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 pinch. There you go. There's our dumpling. And you can actually freeze these and they will hold up over time pretty well. I know the last time I did them, we froze them and ate them over the next month, because this is also one of those things, if you're going to take the time to make them, you might as well make a lot of them. Alright, I'm going to put the camera down and start folding away to try to work through these as quick as possible. Okay, I got wax paper down with a bit of flour on there so that they don't stick. So later, when we go to steam them, I won't tear them when I go to pick them up. So we got just about, I think, 2 dozen, which is a good amount. But I'm going to cover this with plastic wrap and put them in the fridge. And then we're going to cook them tonight. And whatever we don't cook tonight, like I said, we are going to freeze. There you go. Not too shabby. Now for a dipping sauce form, we're going to go sambal, which is chili paste. Good spoonful of that. Good amount of mayo. Couple of drops of sesame oil. And the juice from half a lemon. And then, of course, we'll just have some soy sauce with vinegar in it. So in this one, we'll just do soy sauce and a little shot of vinegar in there. This is just rice vinegar. Have a pan on medium heat, and we're going to spread around the oil a bit. I want to cook these relatively fast, but we're going to sear them and steam them. And I'll show you what I mean in a second. So we're going to wait until the bottom's brown a little bit, like that. Then we're going to add a little bit of water and throw a lid on to finish steaming them. Oh yeah. So one of the things I can see that I'm very happy about is that, I call it pasta, but as the dough is cooking, you can see all the green and everything inside, which means that it's nice and thin and it smells absolutely amazing. So once that water burns off, pasta should be completely cooked, the inside should be completely cooked through and ready to eat. Okay. We let all the water steam off. Oh, nice and crispy on the bottom. So I don't know how clear it is to you, but the fact that you can see through there, and I'm excited by how crispy that is, and by how light these dumpling wrappers seem. So we have our two dipping sauces, our soy and our spicy mayo. I'm not going to even dress these up with any kind of garnish or anything. It would just be silly. These are perfect as is. I'm excited. All right. Oh, with the sunset hitting it. Look at that. Man, those look good. They smell good. All right, let's dig in. All right, we got your favorite taste tester here, Miss Madeline Lowe.
This looks delicious.
Oh, Madeline Young. Oh, by the way, hang on. What's that hat you're wearing?
Ooh, just, my favorite hat.
Quick message. If you guys want a hat, I actually found a couple in the closet, and just shoot me an email. At this point, I'm just trying to get rid of what I got there. I got about 10 of them. Send me $20 and I'll mail one out to you. and we'll make room for new stock. Oh, it's your second favorite taste tester.
Aaron Benjamin,
I was going to say Aaron Lowe. Just to make
Aaron
it
Lowe.
weird. He took my last name.
All right, so you got chopsticks and forks.
Wow.
Choose your
Be
weapon.
like-
Or fingers.
I was
Or
going to go with
fingers.
fingers.
I'm going to go fingers too.
Well, hold on. Okay. What is this?
That's soy sauce with a little bit of vinegar, and then this is basically spicy mayo.
Ooh, I'm going there. You can't double dip.
I didn't bite it yet.
Oh. Can we talk about me? I'm like a pro.
Yeah. A little silly in this house today.
Mm.
All right, I'm going in.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know, was it dough or
Yeah, dough, pasta.
it was like perfect.
Mm-hmm.
I could just eat that. There didn't even have to be anything in it.
It's got a good snap to it. I'm going one, no sauce. Let's see.
They're unbelievable.
Mm.
The
So-
dough's like perfect.
All right, this is actually a redemption for me because if you guys go way back to the Iron Chef cook-off, I made dumplings and I made the mistake of steaming the fillets before putting them in the wrappers, and they got a little bit dried out. My other mistake was feeding them to people that didn't know what they were talking about. But putting the fish in raw and adding just a little bit of mayo, I mean that I hope you can see.
They're primo.
They're actually
Yeah, they're
These would have won the Iron Chef
For
challenge.
sure.
yeah. These
and
are.
this sauce is really good.
Mm.
It's like
How
the
many did I
perfect
say I was
amount of
gonna eat?
perfect amount of heat.
We have more ready to go.
And
But
like
yeah.
the
Oh, no.
filling is like moist, but it's just perfect. It's got a little bit of snap to it.
Mm-hmm.
The dough is just like I could just eat a roll of this.
Feels good.
Yeah, and the big difference with the dough, when I first made these, I used cold water. And the more that I read about Chinese dumpling making, is actually one of the things they do. They first put half boiling water in and then lukewarm water. And it just gives the dough a little bit of softness, a good snap, a little bit of chew, but it makes the dough really, really nice.
Wow. I'm a believer.
That's a little spicy, but in a good way. In a good way.
Yeah, I didn't let me go in on that.
The filling is really good too.
Mm.
Like has a ton of flavor. Like I had a bite without the sauce. It's delicious.
That's just a great dumpling.
So we're glossing over the fact that this is Barracuda.
I changed my opinion.
Yeah,
I'm just kidding.
I'm like, what?
No, everyone's so biased on Barracuda.
Yeah, that has already been debunked for me because what did you make? Crab? No, crab.
The Cuda
Cuda
cakes.
cakes.
the
The Cuda cakes.
I mean, we
those are
just
so
blackened it and it was good.
yeah. When you did it on the half shell.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
good.
It just if you guys are sleeping on Barracuda, and like I said, the smaller ones, and depending on where you're catching them, you run as just a higher risk eating a hogfish getting ciguatera that you do on these. Not worried about it, and you're if you're passing them up, you're missing out because it is a great.
It's worth the flavor.
It's worth the ciguatera. The risk is worth the reward.
Yeah.
Well, all right, guys. Thanks for coming along, and thank you, KastKing, for the rod and reel. Got the job done, and it's a good job. All right. I will see you on the next one.
Yum.